Hi there, I'm Kevin O'Connor, and welcome back to Ask This Old House. If you've got a problem with your house, we'd love to hear from you because we have the experts standing by, ready to help. Good morning, Richard.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Doing great.
So I hear you're making a house call today. What's the problem?
I am. We've all heard about the people who take a nice shower and somebody comes along and might flush the toilet, and all of a sudden super hot water comes out, they get scalded.
Sure.
An email for an expectant mother who had just that problem. We're going to make her safe today.
All right, sounds like a good one.
All right.
Hey, good morning, Tommy.
Good morning, Kevin. How are you?
All right, how you doing?
I'm doing well. You know, we're getting a lot of emails from homeowners that want to know how to prune their trees correctly.
Oh, yeah? What do you know about pruning?
Absolutely nothing. But Roger does.
So, Sarah, what seems to be the problem with your crabapple?
Well, my husband and I moved in a few months ago, and the shape of the tree isn't very nice. When we look at our kitchen window, we like to see a nice round apple tree.
Well, you have a crabapple here that I would guess 25, 30 years old, and it has a very upright growth to it right now. I like to see them spread out more horizontal in the canopy than what this one has. Now, there's been some pruning done on this tree. If you look here, there was a really bad cut made here, and someone made a cut too close to the tree here, causing some cavities.
And Roger, also, when I mow, it's really hard to get around this branch over here. It kind of swings a little bit, and it's hard to even walk around the tree.
Yeah, if you look at it, all the weight is on this, and I'm afraid at some point that this is going to crack and rip right off the tree, so we'll address that too. And if you look over here, this is one of the uprights going up into the interior of the tree. That's not doing the tree any good, so that can be removed. Now look at some of these other cuts out here. Someone just cut this one off right in the middle of the stem. Not a good cut, not healthy for the tree, because this is what happens. Look how ragged that cut is. This is going to die back, and disease can get in and die back all the way to the main stem. So let's get some tools and prune this tree right.
Okay. Roger, what tools are you using today?
Well, Sarah, I like to use a pruning saw. The reason I like it is you can cut a 1/4-inch branch or a branch as thick as 2 or 3 inches like this one. Now, we want to remove this branch. We want to save this branch collar right here because that's where the tree heals, closes the wound off. If we tried to make a cut right here, the weight of the branch would pull down and cause a rip in the bark, and the tree would never heal properly, and we'd end up with a bad wound.
Okay.
So we're going to cut it off using the 3-step method, okay? The first cut is an undercut right here, so I want you to cut about 1/3 of the way through the branch. Keep going. Good. Now, you notice it cuts when you pull. That's the important stroke. All right, that's good, Sarah. Now take the saw out. I want you to make the second cut right here, about 1/2 inch this side of your first cut. So take the saw up.
Right here?
That should be good. Now you cut it all the way through, and that branch is going to fall right off. Finish it right off. There you go. Now our third cut is going to be just outside the branch collar. Now this is where the tree heals after you make a cut, so it's very important to leave it intact. If you make a flush cut, which would be back here, you're going to end up with a wound like this that doesn't heal in a cavity, which can cause the tree problems down the road.
Okay.
Now take your left hand and put it on the branch, and bring your saw in here, line it up right there at the edge of that collar, okay? Now take and cut it through, supporting it, holding it so it doesn't rip all the way down.
Okay.
All right, see how you're banging this here?
Yeah.
Drop the angle of your saw down a little bit. That'll be a better angle for you to cut at.
Okay.
Okay, Sarah, now lift up on your handle and change the angle a little bit, like that. Not down a little bit so you're not hitting the tree. Drop your handle down. There you go. Try cutting it that way. Remember, you have to support that when it comes off. I don't want it to rip.
Okay.
Look at that. Nice, smooth cut. Now let's get started cutting out some of the dead branches.
Okay.
Now this branch here is obviously dead.
And how do I know it's dead?
Well, you can see the bark's all peeling off it. The stem is bare here, and there's no buds and no flowers.
Okay.
So I want you to remove this using the same 3-step method. Cut under, over, and then make a nice clean cut right there at the branch collar. Can you reach that one all right?
I think so.
Okay, that's good. Make your top cut.
Right there?
Yep. That should snap right off. Okay, now your finished cut. Let's cut that off right there.
Right there?
Yep. We'll see how we make out after we get that out of the way. Now that number off. Now you can finish making your cut right here, leaving the branch collar.
Okay.
Go right through, hold on to it. Good. Now remember, we want to encourage horizontal shape instead of vertical, and that's why we're going to come in and take this upright out to encourage that shape. But there's also another problem when you have uprights like this in a tree. The tree can't dry out in the center because there's so many leaves in here, and when it doesn't dry out, it ends up getting a disease called apple scab, and that makes all the leaves drop prematurely, and it's not good for the overall health of the tree, and it does not make it look good at all. So I'm going to remove this branch, but I'm not going to cut it here. I'm going to take it all the way back to this main branch, all right? Another thing I look for when I'm pruning is rubbing branches. When this branch moves in the wind, it's going to cause an injury to this branch, which is the main stem of your tree. Now, that injury can cause rot, and we don't want that main stem to be injured. Now we're going to be working higher up in the tree, and it's always important to wear a hard hat and a safety glasses when you're doing that. In order to make these cuts now, we're going to use a pole saw, and it's simply the same blade you had on your hand saw attached to a pole so you can reach way up into the tree. It also has a hook on it, and this hook is used to remove any branches that might get stuck up in there. All right, now go to your top. Now just grab it with a hook, pull it right out. Keep going. Okay, let off. Watch yourself. All right, let me get this out of your way. You can finish off that cut. Now while you're here, you see this branch right here? It started off vertical. It actually bent out and came between two major branches, and it's laying on these branches out here. So let's remove that one right now.
Okay.
We talked about some of the bad cuts that were made on this tree, and this is one right here. See, not only did they make a cut in the middle of the branch, which is bad, but they ripped it off, so this is never going to heal. Because of the way they made the cut, they caused all this little sucker growth, which is never going to amount to solid branching on this tree. So what we're going to do is cut it back to this live branch right here. And that'll heal and grow properly. Sarah, what we want to do now is remove small branches called suckers. Now, these branches grow off a big stem, but they go vertical right up through the tree. What they do is they steal energy from the tree, and they also cause a lack of air circulation through the tree.
Which causes the apple scab.
Exactly. This side of the tree is still a little thick. I have a big branch right here and a lower branch here, and in the middle is this branch that I want to remove, so I'm just going to cut it right out. There, that's going to open that up nicely. Now with the tree opened up, light's going to get in there and keep the leaves dry, and air circulation will help keep the leaves dry also.
So that's going to prevent the apple scab from forming again.
That's right. Along with what we're doing now, we're going to rake up all these leaves and remove them away from the tree as far as possible. Because all these leaves are loaded with the fungus spores, and they'll come back next year if we don't remove them.
Well, Roger, the tree looks great. I can really see how it's opened up and it's much more horizontal.
And wait till next spring. It's going to look great, and it has a healthy future ahead of it.
All right, boys, it is a power tool. It's red. There's a handle grip, a little trigger here, makes a little noise. Did I mention it was red?
Yeah.
What is it?
That's it? That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
The
yeah,
handle
okay.
gave it away. It's
yeah.
the Mass Bass Castmaster.
Mass
What?
Bass Castmaster?
You guys know I love to fish, right?
Yeah.
Well, opening day, you can't just go out there and start throwing the rod around. You could pull something.
Mm-hmm.
So all winter long, I sit in my room, I throw it in, I reel it up, and I build up my triceps, my biceps. I'm ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
Give me that thing. You shouldn't even touch this without a permit.
Why not?
Well, because it's a weapon. You know, you can't shoot them anymore.
Oh,
The bad guys, the evildoers.
the evildoer.
Yeah, but it turns out you can shock them.
Oh, jeez, don't tase me, bro. Don't tase me.
Ooh, I like shock.
I'd rather hit him with it. That's not it either. Look it. We use a lot of oil a day. We use like 200-300 billion barrels a day.
Billion.
Think of it. First of all, you got to find it.
Yeah.
Then you got to drill for it. All right, that's part of the finding.
Yeah, yeah.
Then you got to get it out of the ground, and you got to get it into that ship. Then that ship's got to come over here, and somebody's got to get it out of those barrels.
Oh, open barrels.
You got to open a barrel. This is a barrel opener.
Come
So
on.
comes there, guy goes in, opens up a barrel. You can do 40, 50 barrels a day.
249 billion to go.
Saves a lot of time.
So, boys, this is from the plumbing industry. It's a tubing cutter, but it's a power tubing cutter.
Really?
Okay, so that sticks on here.
No kidding.
There you go, boys. A power tubing cutter.
I like my guess better.
What we've got here is a classic three-handle tub and shower valve. There are millions of them in America installed. Your hot supply comes up to this handle. Your cold supply comes up to this handle. When you open the handles, the water mixes to this point. This is called the diverter. When you turn the diverter, it'll decide if the water goes down to the tub spout or goes up to the shower head up here.
And see, that's the problem. If I'm in the shower in the morning and my husband flushes the toilet or uses the sink, I get burned.
Common complaint.
That's something that we can kind of coordinate. But when the baby comes and I'm giving the baby a bath, then I don't want to have to worry about scalding.
And when's the baby coming?
About 10 days.
We better get started.
Yeah.
All right, what I want to do is replace this three-handled valve with a single lever pressure balanced valve. Now, what's going to look like on the outside of the wall is this. This is a cover plate, allows us to put it right over the openings in the tile where the old 3 valve was. But the most important part is right here. This is a single lever valve. We still have the hot coming in this side, the cold coming in this side. But what happens is with your valve right now, we've got cold pressure right here and hot pressure right here. When you flush the toilet, all of a sudden that pressure drops. And all that's left is super hot water coming out of the shower head. With this valve, it has a chamber inside here that feels the pressure, and when the cold pressure drops, it drops the hot by the same pressure. That gives you a consistent temperature out of the shower head. No more scalding.
Great.
So for us, it starts by just turning off the water downstairs and removing the trim pieces. All right, I got the water off. I'm going to put you to work a little bit, all right, Erin?
Okay.
Now, to get these handles off, we have to remove the indexes right here. So
The little H and C things?
Grab the pliers and turn it counterclockwise.
Okay.
This way. Okay, is that loose? Underneath the index, there's a screw which holds that handle onto the stem. What is it, Phillips or regular?
It's a regular.
All right, that's what we got. Good. Give that a try. Just turn that counterclockwise. Can I come?
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't.
We got lucky.
Now, don't back it out all the way. I want to show you a little tip.
Okay.
All right, so now I want to push against the screw while I try to pull the handle, because it might be bound onto the end of the stem. And that's not going to come. We're going to need a different tool. All right, just back that screw the rest of the way out. What I've got here is a handle puller, a tool made just for this purpose. It has a piston right here, a thread, and this will hook onto the handle. It'll actually do a better job than what I was just trying to do. Piston goes right down where the screw was and pushes against the stem. And now as I tighten this screw, you can see I'm adding plenty of torque to pull that handle right off. There it is. One down.
One down.
With the handles removed, I can now remove the escutcheons and the stems. There's a threaded gland nut at the top that I just have to loosen. Use an adjustable open end. Now I remove the stem. We need to cut this tile to accommodate our new shower valve. Now this is what the finished trim is going to look like when we're done. What the manufacturer does is provides a template to help us cut the right size hole. I extended with a level the center point of the old valve, both horizontally and vertically. And on the template there are register marks. You just have to line up those marks and trace the template. To remove the tile, I'm going to drill a series of holes using a ceramic drill bit right along our template line. I got to be careful here because if I go too far and crack it beyond the template line, we're into a tile job. Now the trick is to make sure that the ceramic drill bit is pushed hard against the tile with steady pressure. Now I'm going to take a cold chisel. It's got a sharp point on it and connect the dots to break this tile away. Remember, I got to work in here and not split the tile outside that template line. So I'm going to give it a sharp wrap.
So what happens if you do split the tile outside of the template?
It's not good. If I split the tile, if I could actually find the replacement tile, we could retile it in. But otherwise, we're into a whole tile job.
Oh boy.
Yikes.
That's the whole bathroom. Okay, we don't want that.
All right, Erin. I'm going to have you try it.
Okay.
Give it a shot. Just line that chisel up on the holes right down here.
Just connecting the dots.
Just give it a steady wrap. You're trying to do the tap and move right along now. Just to score all those holes.
So I don't actually have to go through.
No, just sort of break it, keep going, and just move right along. Good, you're splitting it. Good. Keep coming. Yeah. Get mad at it. There you go, a little bit more.
A little bit more on that one, yeah.
Okay, good. I think you've gone all the way around. Now take your hammer and give it a really good shot right there. Take a swing at it and try to break this time. Ready? Go. One more. Good. One more. Good. Now, there's that. So now take the end of your claw and carefully just try to pry it. Don't push here. See right there?
Yep.
Just try to pull it without. Good. That's that. Good. Now let's try to pry this one again without. Yeah. Good. Using a keyhole saw, we can cut the wallboard, which is behind the tile. Now we want to extract this valve from the wall. Now it starts by removing the tub spout. A modern tub spout has a set screw at the bottom. This one doesn't. This one threads in. To protect the chrome by using a rag, and then just give it a steady counterclock. Oh, that was pretty loose. Now, I could do all the work from right here. But I actually discovered an access panel on the other side of this wall. Make our job a lot easier.
I always wondered what this was in the closet.
Well, homes of this vintage often have these access panels right behind the bathtub, so if they ever had to service the drain or the valve, it's going to help us today make it a little easier. So I'm going to start by cutting this top connection up to the shower head. Good. Now break the unions on the hot and the cold. Okay. All right, well, here's our pressure balanced shower valve body, and we're going to connect the cold and the hot to the cold water line and the hot water line. We want to get the valve body to be centered in our opening, so we want to get it right about there, and we can make this connection right here going up to our shower head. That should be perfect. All right, well, all of our new piping is in place. I've cut all the piping and cleaned it and fluxed it. I've got our hot supply, the cold supply, up to the shower head and down to the tub spout. Now, with it all clean and fluxed, it's now time to solder. Alright, now it's time to put our finished plate and trim on. Get everything ready to go. So here we go. I got a couple of screws I got to line up. Okay. Now there's a gasket behind this plate, so no water gets behind it. I just want to tighten those screws up. This valve comes with a new tub spout, so that matches the handle. I've already put the Teflon tape on, and that just goes on hand tight. Good. Now the handle. All right, Aaron, I'm going to let you do the last step. Put the handle on. Here you go.
Okay.
There's an off, cold, and hot, so stick that right in line with the off. Now it has a Phillips screw you've got to put in there.
Just pops right in?
Yeah. Just tighten that up.
How tight should it be?
Tight enough that it won't loosen.
Okie doke.
All right, the last step is the index. Take that.
The
and put it-
last step.
Absolutely. Stick it right over that.
And it just
Screw.
pops right in.
Yeah. You are in business.
Yay!
So good luck with both of your new additions, the shower valve and the baby.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy.
I cannot thank you enough for this. Oh, thank
He
you.
said.
Well, you're not afraid to put the pregnant lady to work.
She was very game. Now, this has always been the choice that we've had to replace a 3-valve like this with a single lever pressure balanced shower valve.
So anytime I see a big plate like this one, it tells me that a retrofit has taken place. We wanted to get
At one time, that was in the wall.
right.
These plates have saved a lot of bathrooms because you start removing the tile, the next thing you know, you're removing the whole bathroom tile and doing the whole thing.
And it gets expensive.
While you were at it.
So this was the only choice we had for all these years, and it had a really dated look to it. You know, so now we've got a new modern plate here. It's a much better look, and that mounts onto the valve like this, and you put the handle on. There's a bunch of different choices, but also with this new plate, there's a bunch of different trim kits you can install. So this goes on here, and that makes a nice look, and they also have faucets for the lavatories that complement the bathroom.
Really dress it up.
Absolutely.
Now, Richard, as usual, everything lined up perfectly for you. If I was doing this job, the tub spout would end up like that.
That's right. Well, when you get to that point, you really just want to just push it a little bit farther, and you want to be sure you don't scratch it, so you might use a rag with a pair of pliers. If it goes too far, there's another thing we've got to worry about, and that is, behind the wall I have a thread like this. I want to fill these threads with some additional Teflon tape.
So you're building up the threads.
Absolutely. And that way, when I tighten it up, it'll line up perfectly.
All right. Well, lots of good tips, guys. And if you've got questions about your house, we'd love to hear from you, so keep them coming. Until next time, I'm Kevin O'Connor.
I'm Mr. Dewey.
I'm Tom Silver. And I'm Roger Cook.
For Ask This Old House. Yeah, I'll tell you what, don't make the pregnant lady work, and we'll send you a helper.
We'll get you a helper.
This game, she wanted to help.
If you have a question about your house or a tip you'd like to share, please let us know. Visit our website, pbs.org, for expert advice, step-by-step videos, and much more. Next time on Ask This Old House, Richard finds a solution to a 23-year-old problem.
The banging is driving us crazy in the house. I came just in time, 23 years.
You betcha.
That's next time on Ask This Old House.